All right, coming up, we have Scots.
Scott, yes!
Great Scots.
I'm gonna do this without my guitar. So,
Do it.
just to set the turf to what I call it when you make a building and you strip the ground. Before the foundation, we have to clear the ground. So we're looking at truth and the love of speech and language. And this is a good room for that because it's been a very playful night. Some rooms aren't like that, this one is. I don't know about you, but I can say this. My love of language started very, very early. From the time I knew that I had sort of what later I would realize was actually an affliction, was when I used to sit in the living room of our apartment because my parents didn't have TV, and I would put the speakers on the floor and listen to Shakespeare albums, vinyls.
Yeah.
And I knew I loved it. I knew I loved speech because I could listen to Shakespeare do what he does. And what I knew I loved about him is he plays. He has so much fun just saying things. And in the back of my mind was the thought, come on, Macbeth, don't kill her again. No, Othello, don't kill her again. So I would do what I do now with movies and sitting on patios smoking cigarettes, which is hear peace, hear quiet. Yet you get to an open mic and you realize there are times when you're in an audience and you're listening and you're hearing, you can see everything you saw when you wrote it, or when you wrote it, or when you wrote it, or when you wrote it. And when you wrote it. I mean, I don't know, but I was hot for the girl, so it gets so exciting, and yet we can do such miraculous things with it. And I feel obliged because my conscience most often gets the better of me, which is why the poems never make it on paper anyway. On one hand, we know in and of itself, loving words and speech and language and playfulness. On one hand, we know that is in and of itself self-evident enough. And yet, we also know there's another side of the coin which says we can do things with the words we say. We can make change. We can invite people in. We can encompass. We can include. We can encourage. I don't know about you, but in my mind, the list is running long and deep of all the great speeches that have ever been made and the changes they affected. I have a dream. And I haven't even heard very many of them. But I've heard some of them. I've heard some fictional, some historic. To be or not to be, which, by the way, I think is bull because I love taking a nap. So, I will be the last to speak tonight. Is that right? Or was someone in another one?
No, I think, are y'all?
That's it.
Yeah.
So let us take this from what we shared here tonight. Camaraderie. Oh, a good word. Companionship. Love, harmony, joy, remembrance, faith, fear, apprehension, reminiscence. The one that matters most is not only encouragement, but hope. This, thank you, Michael, does make a difference.
Yeah.
It broadens our heart, it expands our ears, it opens our eyes to the fact that inside each and every one of us is a soul that just wants to share itself with everybody else. My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. Not because there is a cornucopia of food on my table, because I'm poverty stricken. but because there is something grand to be thankful for, that we have people of like mind and like spirit to share it with. I feel so blessed for you being here, for all y'all being here. It's such glad tidings. It's no wonder the Christmas lights are out. Soon you will go home, and I, for one, and I think I'm in a position to say this, I speak for everyone else, we will have such sweet dreams.